read to me the nameplate?
Judge Eboni K. Williams.
So the only thing that matters in this particular courtroom is how I see it. I am from North Carolina by way of Louisiana with some West Coast cool and a New York edge. Do we have a problem, ma'am?
No, I don't, Your Honor.
Equal justice is all about the most important values of our country: freedom, integrity, and those are the things that I'm striving for. Ma'am, you run your household, this man gets to run his. I decided to become an attorney and pursue the law. I wanted to be a voice for the voiceless. This court cannot hold this woman accountable. People from all sectors of life, black, white, purple, gay, straight, queer, and that's what equal justice with Judge Eboni K. Williams is all about.
Nancy Taylor claims the expensive puppy she bought was sold as a purebred, but turned out to be a mutt with behavior problems. Kevin Bell says he never guaranteed the dog's breed, and he has a strict no-refund policy.
Well, good day to you both. I see I've got Nancy Taylor as my plaintiff, Kevin Bell as my defendant. Ms. Taylor, I see you are suing Mr. Bell for $1,350. Tell us why we're in court today.
I am suing Mr. Bell today for the reason of I did not receive a purebred Bernese Mountain Dog. I'm very familiar with the breeds. I grew up with 2 Bernese Mountain Dogs. So it's a very sentimental breed to me. And it's kind of been a lifelong dream to have a purebred of my own one day.
So this is a particularly large dog. Tell me a bit about
Yes.
the breed, ma'am. I'm not super familiar.
Yes, Bernese Mountain Dogs, they're a cross between a Mastiff and a herding dog. So they're very large. They're normally on farms, but very, very loyal and very good with families and children in particular. I just bought a new house with my husband as well with larger space, partially to accommodate a larger breed dog.
So I want to see kind of the size, ma'am. Can you offer up? I see you referring to a
Yes, I have
photo.
in my evidence
Give
amongst
that to
other
my bailiff,
things.
please, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we can all see visually kind of what this particular dog looks like. Oh, this is a beautiful dog. Stunning. I mean, that is just picture perfect.
That is Gus. That is the dog that I have right now. And actually, and he is a beautiful dog, but it turns out he is not purebred. He is a variation of a Bernese Mountain Dog, but very beautiful nonetheless, yes.
Okay, now in terms of size, this is very interesting because for size, is this consistent? Is the Mountain Dog, or is it even larger?
So right now, he's about 6 to 7 months right now.
Oh, puppy, yeah.
So he's a pretty big puppy, but he is 50% Bernese Mountain Dog.
I see. I'm looking at this DNA test here. So
yes.
I'm looking at this test just so we can be clear. Okay, so the breed identification. Here are the results. 50% Bernese Mountain Dog, 22% Rottweiler. See, my mother has a Rottweiler, so I'm looking for the features there, which is very interesting. And then 20% German Shepherd. So you've got 3 different, very strong identified breeds within this gorgeous dog. And I hear you saying, Ms. Taylor, that that's still a beautiful, lovely companion for someone, but you specifically wanted 100% Bernese Mountain Dog.
Yes, a purebred. There are other breeds similar to a Bernese, like a Greater Swiss Mountain Dog. You know, if Gus was mixed with something that was closer to his family, his actual breed, we would not be standing here. Because the temperaments are similar to Great Pyrenees, similar temperaments, very good with children. Bernese are just the coveted; they're the best. You know?
So talk to me about how you came in contact with this gentleman.
Right. So about a year ago, we were getting ready to purchase our new home. So I geared up like being a happy wife that I am. I'm like, okay, now it's time for me to get my Bernese. So I started looking up kennels and asking friends.
Reputable breeder, which just, if anybody has not gone about the business of trying to find and procure a purebred animal, it is not always the easiest thing. In fact, some could say it's even taboo to be on a hunt for a purebred dog in this day and age. But you had your reason. So you're looking for a reputable breeder of this Bernese Mountain Dog, and somehow somebody gives you Mr. Bell's name?
Yeah, so I really like to base my purchases off of Consumer Reports. So I just went in search of top kennels, top-rated kennels.
So you saw some positive reviews from Mr. Bell?
Yes,
and
many.
You contacted him. And what was the conversation like?
So I called him, and probably the first words out of my mouth were, I'm on the market for a purebred Bernese Mountain Dog.
Let me stop you right there. Mr. Bell, let's get you in the mix here. Is that true? This was a cold call based off of your reputation as a breeder, and she said, I want a purebred Bernese Mountain Dog.
Correct, Your Honor, except for the portion that I'm not in the business of pure breed. That's not my business model.
Okay, I would love to know what it is. What kind of breeding do you do, sir?
Well, I'm a commercial dog seller. I sell dogs for profits.
Coming up on Equal Justice.
You told me that he was a purebred. You say, Mr. Bell, Nancy, I absolutely never said that he was a purebred. To my knowledge, he is a Bernese Mountain Dog. If you wanted a purebred, you should have gone to a purebred breeder.
And later,
Right before the trip, there was a message that I believe was accidentally sent to the group thread. She thought that I was an alcoholic.
But do you think she's an alcoholic?
Sure, yeah.
if you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. This is Equal Justice. Equal Justice is back with a dispute between Nancy Taylor and Kevin Bell over a mixed breed mutt.
How did you acquire Gus, sir?
I have private sellers that I work with.
Okay, so you are a middleman. Is that?
You
This is not a
can
negative
describe
thing,
it as that,
but yes.
yes.
Okay, so you're not actually breeding these
Correct.
dogs yourself. There are different breeders that are essentially channeling dogs your
Correct.
way, and then you are getting them placed and sold.
Yes, and
Got it.
And,
Okay.
and I make no bones about that.
Right.
I'm not falsely
Which is why
advertising.
you don't hear me, Mr. Bell, that's why you don't hear me condemning it. I just need clarity on why
Yes.
you wouldn't know the specifics of the breed, and now I do. Because you are not actually breeding these
Correct.
dogs from inception.
Correct. I'm not claiming it was a pure breed, but it's a Bernese Mountain Dog, but that's all I know. It never stated that it was a pure breed.
So you do have documentation for the
well,
transaction?
yeah, and we have the final contract. All payments are final.
Okay, go ahead and give all your evidence, sir, to my bailiff.
And I will just mention, Your Honor, you know, when I went to see his facility, everything, you know, I am not condemning commercial kennels
Thank you.
either.
Okay, so I do see that there is some evidence here. I see some behavioral training for the puppy.
Yes, Your Honor.
Tell me about this, ma'am. When did you decide he needed care, ma'am, or a behavior specialist? Was this
that
around
was
the
about
3-month mark?
It was a little later than that. It was after I had I don't know the exact date just because I had a friend come over, a childhood
That's okay.
friend.
I don't need the exact date, ma'am.
Yeah.
Around what age?
About like 5 months.
Okay, so around 5 months, you say, this temperament is not what I expected. As somebody who grew up with the Bernese Mountain
Yep.
Dogs, you knew something was kind of off.
Yes.
So you procured the behavior.
Very
Was
off.
the training effective, rather?
No, not really. They're having a little bit of trouble with him as well, just because I had informed them that it was a Bernese Mountain Dog. You know,
So
and
they were trying to train according to that breed.
Right, and I don't have the funds for that kind of breeding. I also know from having pit bulls that this training will have to go on lifelong.
Oh, wow. When did this occur, the DNA test?
The DNA test occurred after I
After
had
the training?
Yes.
Okay. So then now we know what the issue is. This is not a purebred. It's only 50% Bernese. And then you reach out to Mr. Bell, and I see there's a text message here. I see, Kevin, it's Nancy Taylor. I just got back the DNA test, and the purebred Bernese Mountain Dog I brought from you, turns out he's only 50% Bernese, and you told me that he was a purebred. You say, Mr. Bell, Nancy, I absolutely never said that he was a purebred. To my knowledge, he is a Bernese Mountain Dog. If you wanted a purebred, you should have gone to a purebred breeder. You and your business are shady. This is the plaintiff here. I need my $550 back because that's the amount you pay for the dog.
Yes.
But I noticed, ma'am, you're asking for $1,350 in court today. Where is the surplus?
The surplus is the $800 from the behaviorist that I had to take him to, and those aren't the only text messages that I had with Mr. Bell. There's a string of messages where I was just simply asking him about the behavior of the dog. The markings look different than what I know to be Bernese markings, and he had been flaky as far as responding to me, or he would blow me off as far as telling me, like, you took the puppy so early that you can't really tell so much about the temperament.
I appreciate all of that. I really do, Miss Taylor. Do you have them in court today?
I could try to find them on my phone.
Ladies and gentlemen, always bring all of your evidence that you want me to consider before the court. Otherwise, it's just hobnosh. Okay, so that's that. Mr. Bell, this case really comes down to one thing and one thing only, and then I will be prepared to rule, and that is, did you represent either directly through your words or through text messaging or through email correspondence to this woman that this was 100% purebred Bernese Mountain Dog?
I submitted that text, Your Honor, as evidence. All of the document, the contract that we signed that she paid for, nowhere does it say that. And I actually have done research, I think it's included up there, that finding pure breed of this is very difficult for this particular dog.
I do see that. I do see this
It's not
research.
something that I do.
Yeah, I do see this in the research,
Yeah.
ma'am, that it says because this is a mixture of some particular types of Swiss breeds, it's very difficult to determine whether or not they are purebred.
Right. And if it were mixed with more similar breeds, I would have been a little bit.
You wouldn't be here today.
Right.
Okay, so thank you for saying that, ma'am. I'm ready to rule. No more from you two. You know, I really thank you for your candor, Ms. Taylor, because what I now know is, because you told me, is that this case really isn't about whether or not this dog was a purebred or not. No, this is about the type of a mixture that you would have been more satisfied with. And I can appreciate that, because as you can tell by our dialogue today, I'm familiar with the discrepancies amongst dog breeds, and I really do appreciate how important that can be from an experience. But this man has held to the court, and I believe him, because there's evidence to support it, that he is a commercial dog breeder. He's essentially a third-party middleman, and he has not held himself out to be an expert or specialist in any way. Therefore, ma'am, the court finds that your expectation of a very difficult to find and prove purebred dog was unreasonable. Therefore, the plaintiff's case is dismissed. That's my ruling.
Judge Eboni has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's case is dismissed.
Thank you for the ruling, and I appreciate the time, and I'm happy with the result.
Research your breeders when you have something specific in mind.
Coming up on Equal Justice.
Why was it $1,000 some?
The defendant chose the activities that we would be doing. She had us do 3 massages, zip lining, and 2.5-hour tequila tour.
This is Equal Justice. Mariah Wee claims her friend agreed to pay for her half of a birthday trip, but canceled at the last minute and stiffed her. Olivia Franklin says Miss Wee accused her of having a drinking problem, so she bailed.
I've got Miss Mariah Wee here as my plaintiff, Olivia Franklin as my defendant. Ladies, why are we in court today? I'll start with you, Miss Wee.
I am here today because I am suing my ex-friend.
Okay, so why does she owe you $1,065.36?
We were planning to go on a birthday getaway trip for our best friend, Kelly.
Okay, so this is a friend you have in common?
Yes,
Okay,
correct.
go ahead.
And we wanted to celebrate her birthday.
And what did this involve? Why was it $1,000 some?
So because the defendant chose the activities that we would be doing, we entrusted that role for her. She had us do 3 massages, zip lining, and 2.5-hour tequila tour.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of money, ma'am. Do you have any receipts to show what you guys actually spent on this?
Yes, I do.
Please provide that to my bailiff, ma'am. Just give him everything you have.
Oh,
Thank
the
you.
whole folder, yes.
Yes, please. Thank you. Let's see what we are talking about. I don't know, but a 3-hour tequila tasting sounds like my kind of vibe. All right, so house rental, then there was the tequila tour, the zip lining, and the massages. That was the most expensive, totaling $1,065.36. Okay, and all of this stuff is non-refundable, you're saying, ma'am?
Yes.
So you're only asking for half, which is the half that you're saying she agreed to pay.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me get to you, Madam Defendant. Why did you fail to pay what she says was your half of these expenses?
Yes, Your Honor. Right before the trip, there was a message that I believe was accidentally sent to the group thread in which she made it very clear that she thought that I was an alcoholic.
Coming up on Equal Justice.
Were you too excited about this, or did you feel away?
We felt a certain type of way about the 2.5-hour tequila tour.
This is Equal Justice. Equal Justice is back with the case of Mariah Wee, who brought Olivia Franklin to court over birthday getaway costs.
So you planned this extravagant weekend. Everybody's on board, though.
Everyone was excited.
Okay, ma'am, Miss Wee, how about that? Were you too excited about this, or did you feel away?
So we felt a certain type of way about the 2.5 our tequila tour because, as you know, the defendant is claiming that we think that she's an alcoholic.
But do you think she's an alcoholic?
Sure, yeah.
You do? Okay.
I do.
Okay, I was told that you presented a piece of evidence to my bailiff of a voice note. Let me hear what this voice memo sounds like.
Hey Kelly, I'm still worried about Liv. You know how she gets a little nuts with a drink. I don't want to be embarrassed in a new city. I think I should confront her before we leave.
What do you say about that, Miss Wee?
I tried to explain to her, but she didn't even let me get to explain myself.
Tell her what you would have told her if she had not cut you off.
We care about you. We love you. And we do not like to see the way alcohol changes you.
Olivia, how does that land for you?
Honestly, I feel like a lot of this is coming out of left field for me. This whole idea that I have some problem with alcohol is really coming out of nowhere. This isn't something we've talked about.
All right, so you're saying that because you got this painful voice memo, you took it upon yourself to assume that that meant you were not welcome to the trip.
Yes, I felt like because this was so out of left field for me, I thought that they just didn't want me on the trip, and I really wish that we could have talked about it earlier. There would have been no problem with the 24-hour refund if we had talked about this sooner, but this all happened so last minute. We were going for Kelly's birthday, and I found out that this was this other thread she was having with Kelly. So I basically found out that both of my friends were talking about me behind my back.
Judge Eboni's verdict when equal justice returns. This is Equal Justice.
The court is ready to rule here. This is what I'm going to do, ladies. I think there's still love here. I think there's concern. I do want to be very clear, though, Miss Wee, when we start talking about somebody having an alcohol problem or a substance abuse problem, and we're not clinical professionals in that capacity, so we don't really need to be diagnosing people with this or that when we don't have the credentials for that. You might want to avail yourself to some people that are professional. That said, I do believe that you made a commitment, Olivia, to support a pretty extravagant birthday weekend. I do understand your point, but for this heartbreaking message, you would have participated. But I think you both share in the contribution of what went wrong here. I also think you could have been more direct in your communication on the back end. Once you heard something that you felt hurt you, hey, sis, I don't even like the way y'all were getting down about me in the group chat. I don't like this talking behind my back. But because you sat in your feelings and you didn't communicate, you erroneously communicated by pressing send too quickly. You better look the second time. I bet you won't make that mistake again. I'm going to let you two split the difference here. I'm going to rule in favor of the plaintiff, but you're only getting, ma'am, one half of the $1,065.36 that you have asked the court for. That's my ruling.
Judge Eboni has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant owes $532.68.
Any final words for each other?
I'm sorry it had to happen this way.
Me too.
Okay, you've had your day in court. Please grab your belongings and follow me.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.